Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to the Age of Fear 2 Chaos Lords gameplay, or let's play video. We draw close to the end of the campaign of the Orcs, so let's dive right in. Quick mention, after talking with the developers, they have, after reviewing my let's play video and listening to my suggestions, they have made the dragon fight a lot more difficult. Just because, as I said last video, I found it quite easy, to be honest, and since it was supposed to be right towards the end of the game, I thought it'd be better if the fight was made a lot harder, to be honest. So there we go. Let's do this fight right. So you can see we're attacking a fortified human encampment. Let's see if we can do this without losing anyone. They've got a lot of support and range units and a good strong defensive position. So let's see if we can't beat them down a bit. We have Hurl. I've got to start off with my favourite spell. I realise at this point that my normal lightning spell isn't there, so I'm just having a look. That's a good tip. If you have too many spells, just go and right click on the character and it will bring them up. To be honest, I had spells there that I never used, like the time slow and stuff. I just never got around to doing them. Personally, because of this one, Disintegration, insanely OP. Even with its tweak status, it's a lot less powerful than it used to be, it's still really powerful, especially for high level characters. That guy got very lucky. To be honest, the only thing that's holding me back from doing a full out attack is the amount of support units that they have, because if I try and charge in, they will literally wreck face. So my plan for the time being is to wait at the back, try and lure them out so that my sappers can come out. I'm a bit over eager with the potion usage for that guy, unfortunately. I should have been a bit more careful with him. This is the problem. The thing is, sappers are really useful, but in this situation where you're attacking into a defensive structure, it becomes a lot more challenging, because if the AI is smart, the AI will hold back and shoot my guys before they can actually get to any worthwhile targets. So I don't really want to pop my sappers just on like one or two guardsmen if I can help it. Also, my guys are really close and I don't want to pop them before my guys can get away, which is always a problem. So I re-sift my goblins about, slightly move my orcs around. It's one of the usual tactics that I do for the orcs, is that you position your sappers. If you're going to do like an assault as such with the orcs, and you have sappers in your units, in your army, you always want to basically hold off one turn so that the enemy can get towards you. I wasn't expecting him to be teleported by the mage, but to be honest, that's a nasty tactic, but it works. I've used it myself. This is a lovely little setup. All the humans get into a nice juicy position for me. They start moving up their support units, and this is the time when we should get active. And they're forming up a firing line at the back, so we need to start hacking through. That one particular human though is going to be annoying. So we freeze him. I don't really use a lot of the close quarter spells for the mage, to be honest. Now at this point I had two choices. I could have used I was considering using one of my sappers to, well, I did actually, to be honest. I used one of them to get here. Probably wasn't the best use of them, to be honest. I could have run him past. The problem is there's so many range units that he probably would have got smoked before he got there, which is a shame. I was also disappointed by he didn't manage to take out that other guardsman, which was really annoying. I should have used the black orc at the top to finish off that guy rather than the ogre. Can't quite reach my target, but what I can do is I can shoot at the palisade, which is very nice. Don't know why my poison is not working in this particular moment. I thought I had my poison amulet on. Maybe I just got unlucky and it wasn't activating.
Yes.
This is my slightly less than useful shaman. To be honest, one of the reasons I never went into many shamans early in game was the fact they have very few offensive spells, so that actually do damage. So I didn't really use them that much. Doesn't matter. I can just. The snakes are useful. Snakes are fantastic for being a blocking force. Break that guardsman. He basically flees. The problem is I can't just charge my sappers in because there's literally just tons of units, which is not a good thing. So I hold them back, waiting for the enemy's counter-attack, because there's always a counter-attack. I target the palisade because if we can punch a hole for it, it'll give us a bit more tactical flexibility when it comes to actually manoeuvring. That guardsman got very lucky the first time, not so lucky the second time. Now for the big send-off. Wrong button. I'm so lucky that it's double tap to command that guy to blow up, otherwise I would have killed loads of my people a long time ago. Lovely positioning. Gets most of them except the one that didn't get hit was because he had taken a potion of invulnerability, which sucks. But it doesn't really matter. Break through their central unit. Kill off their battle masters because they're always a pain. Kill off him. The thing is, those two had taken potions of invulnerability, which make them really tanky. Unfortunately, it doesn't help against lightning. So we just do this. This is what happens while you line your people up. You should never do it. We managed to break a couple of their units and we're in. The only problem is now those two down the bottom will eat a face full of enemy range unit attacks, because the AI works like that. It will prioritize high threat targets because it's actually a relatively competent AI. Got very lucky with him that he wasn't killed. I'd sort of hoped that we could get off with just goblin casualties, because they're goblins so no one really cares. But yeah, this has sort of turned out the way that I thought it was going to go. The enemies have surged out to try and counteract us. We pop the potions on our units. At this point, I'm not actually finding the fight particularly hard at all. I don't know, I mean, this is one of the problems, because I've played a lot of both these games back to back. What I find difficult and what the average player might find difficult at this point is rather different, because obviously I really had I feel like got my head locked down on the tactics and what tactics work best against which kind of faction. So, I mean, for me, I found this fight quite easy. I would almost go ahead and ask for the developers to actually probably make it harder, especially considering this is the final fight for the Orc campaign. I found it a rather straightforward battle. I mean, as you can see, I'm not really having any difficulty with it. Critically wound that guardsman. At this point I decided to chuck the sapper in here and basically finish them off. Need to pull back my Black Orc. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, I found it just to fight really easy. I mean, once you dealt with the first couple of guards on the outside, you really ran over people. I mean, I got lucky a couple of times, I won't lie, but I really do think this is basically the final fight in the campaign. So I do believe they need to make it a bit more challenging. I don't know, maybe chuck some paladins in, or because this is supposed to be a group that's gone and hunted dragons. So I don't know. It just feels that it's a bit simple. Especially considering that I'm literally I'm literally steamrolling over my opponents. I shouldn't have attacked that guy. I should have attacked the archer so I'd pin more people in combat, but it's not a massive issue. I'd almost forgotten that particular shaman existed. I was hardly using him enough. But I'm still nervous about getting some of my ranged units close, because obviously the Ballistica can kill most of my ranged units in one hit. Try and shoot me. Survive it. To be honest, I could have picked up some really good armor a long time ago, but the meteor armor with the Quicksilver ability is OP as anything. I mean, it doesn't look it. When you look at it, it's like, oh, only if you take damage, you only take 1 damage from per unit, which doesn't sound a lot, but it's just absolutely monstrous. I'm still trying to work out if my poisoned earrings are still working. I didn't take them off, don't think. Maybe they glitched, not sure. There is a secret ending to this campaign, which I will be doing for the next video. Which the video will be shorter, to be honest. I'm not going to say. I should have probably done it for this one. But situations have arisen where basically this is how much time I have to record this video today. So it's unfortunate, but it's how it is. So the next video is going to be rather shorter than this one, which I know is going to be a pain. I'll probably tie in. What I probably will do is I'll probably tie in. It's going to be annoying to watch, because the way that you basically do it is that you have to lose, so it's going to be very time consuming. I'll probably do a lot of post editing to it, so that you miss out the most of it, just because standing around watching me getting my head caved in is never particularly enjoyable, unless for those of you who find it enjoyable to watch me having my head caved in. Trying to get this guy killed off, so I want to kill him off with Catsock if I can. And then Catsock comes up and smashes him. There we go. The end of the Orc campaign. But no, I mean, I think they could have made this harder, because I pretty much steamrolled this, and for anyone who's got a good ground, well, not good grounding, but basic grasping of tactics and sort of like management, you're going to be you're going to find it really easy to steamroll this fight, especially if you've got relatively good equipment and units. So I don't know. I think they do need to make this fight harder. Maybe chucking another archmage or something. Maybe chucking some more knights, or maybe just have some paladins or something. But it does need to be tweaked.
After years of war and conquest, Catsock Dragonkiller soon defeated the rival clans. As the years passed, chieftain after chieftain fell at his feet, as Catsock took their clans as his own. Orcs from those clans easily forgot of Catsock's amazing deeds, as well as the challenges he had faced in fighting for a clan that was rightfully his. Many of those warriors challenged Catsock for his place as chieftain, but every orc that came before him felt the bite of his great axe. Eventually, Catsock's great clan became known as the Greenskin Horde, and they were feared by all who knew the name. Not even the human kingdom had the strength to oppose them, as Catsock and his horde killed, burned, and looted everything in their path. There was no place the humans were truly safe from Catsock's wrath and aspirations. The only human structures that stood a chance to withstand the Greenskin Horde were the great and near impenetrable castles. Structures that stood tall and strong. They were prepared for Catsock, and taking them would not be easy. But that is a story for another day.
That is the end of the campaign, folks. I have to admit, I found the ending for the Orc campaign a bit of a letdown. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a rather straightforward campaign, especially if you're for the Orcs, but I don't know, I found the last battle to be a bit underwhelming. So I do think the developers need to tweak it a little bit. Probably either chuck in some paladins. Like personally, what I would do is I would chuck in a couple of paladins. Maybe have like 3 paladins or 2 paladins. Have probably another mage. I don't know. It just needs a bit of tweaking, to be honest, to make it a bit more challenging. But as I've said, the next video will probably have the intro to show the special ending for the orcs, which you would get by losing that fight, and then we'll probably go into we will go into the demon quest line to see what happens. But anyway, I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Age of Fear 2. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, or you can leave a comment in the comment section and get back in contact with you. Why don't you go and try out Age of Fear 2? It's a great game. I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.